it going? In this video, I want to take something that was a complete fail for me and try to make it into something pretty. So let me explain. I've been trying to prototype a spherical Hypertufa shaped container, but I've been trying to do it on the cheap, like trying to find things, like I tried to do it with a beach ball. It did not turn out very well, and so I want to take the form that I did make and try to make it into something fun. So let me show you what my sphere looks like. That is not a sphere. Kind of, but not really. Like if I were to paint it blue and put two googly eyes on it, I think it could pass as Cookie Monster, honestly. But what I think I want to do is try to make it into like this little, maybe gnomish, like ogre style fairy garden with this little dude. I brought home some really cool plants. So there's a heuchera here, some other things like creeping jenny, there's a dock, ferns, moss. I just want to take it kind of woodsy style. In fact, down below you can see some of my other supplies. I've got a couple different kinds of moss that I already had on hand, as well as like this big chunky moss. Show you a piece. Look at that, isn't that cool? And then if I want to kind of take it more spooky, creepy style, I've got this black and white moss, or I guess it's lichen. I think it's really cool. I use it in Halloween arrangements. And then I've got a couple different sizes of pine cones. There's my soil and my tea. So these right here are remnants from lilies out in my garden, like the lily stalks that I just pulled off. There's some old delphiniums. See the seed pods? I still hadn't cut those back. A piece of bark. I basically just walked around the garden and found stuff that kind of looked woodsy or almost dead, I guess. And I actually found a woodsy looking fairy, like a woodland guy, and a few other things, which these are kind of shiny packages. So like a little spade and garden fork, a sundial. Got this little bench here that's kind of cute. I don't know that the bench and the ogre really go together, but you know, we'll see what happens. So those are the supplies I have to work on this project. I just set up right underneath the pine trees, put an umbrella up just in case the sun comes out a little bit more. But I thought it would just be fun to try to like resurrect this project. If you guys have any ideas on a mold that I could use for Hypertufa that could get me that kind of like sized sphere, but like a really perfect circle, that would be amazing. And something that's inexpensive, because that's the whole point of the project, was to try to make this sphere. Anyway, I used a beach ball. I don't know if I told you that. Beach ball with sand around it, and it like kind of halfway came out. So anyway, I'm gonna set up the cameras. You can see I brought one of Aaron's cameras out here. I'm gonna try to set up and get a good angle so I can show you this thing coming together. Here we go. So here's a midway update. So I just filled it with soil, and then I planted just actually 4 of the plants. So I have a fern back in here, the dock. I split one of the Irish moss into 2 pieces, and then the heuchera right back in there. And then I used some of the spent lily stalks there, and then a few fairy garden pieces. Oh, and a rock. I went and found a rock out in one of my flower beds that was kind of neat, like a little flat stone right there. So, oh, and delphiniums. So those are the spent delphinium seed heads right there. Now I'm gonna make a little ladder to kind of swing out the front of the garden. So I'm in the gazebo making the little ladder to come out the front of the fairy garden. Let me show it to you so far. So I've got my hot glue gun here, and then I just got a couple pieces of garden twine and some little sticks from a flower bed. And what I did was I hot glued them onto the twine, but the dang glue dries blue, and I didn't realize that. So I'm spending probably more time on this little ladder than I did on the whole rest of the garden. But I'm just tying it around, like tying a little piece of twine around each one. You can see them right in the middle of this one right here. I'll cut the tails off. And that way all the glue is hidden and you don't see that blue color, which you can't see in here. Like I can't really tell in here, but you sure can when you get it out to the garden. Ladder is done. Let's take it over to the garden. Oh yeah, that looks cute. So now I'm gonna glue, I think, some moss on the outside and maybe rub some Danish oil or wood stain just lightly in some of the places so that it doesn't look quite so concrete-esque. Maybe make it a little bit more natural. This part might take a little while. I just decided to start gluing some natural elements like some moss and bark, pine cones to the top, and I think I'm gonna kind of do a swoop around, like maybe to here-ish, just to make it like really blend in. But I think it makes it look really fun and pretty and very woodland-esque. So this part's gonna take a little while, so what I'm gonna do is finish it up and then I'll nest it into a flower bed somewhere where it's gonna end up, and I'll take some pictures so you guys can see what it looks like. I think it turned out kind of fun for what it ended up being. Kind of a fail for the other project that I'm working on. It can turn into something that's cute and whimsical that I can just tuck into the flower bed somewhere and still enjoy it. I just didn't want to waste all of the time that I spent on trying to make that sphere. I wanted to end up with something from that time that I spent, and I think it turned out pretty cute. Now the plants that I used in there, all of them are perennial except for the dock, which I can pop all of those out at the end of the season, plant them in the landscape. I can cut them back and they will flush and do fine. Now I don't expect the back side of the plants that aren't getting any light or really good air circulation to look that great when I take them out, but plants are resilient and they should be fine. I don't usually plant up something like this with the intent of getting years and years and years out of them. I usually like them for the season and then I like to do something else. So anyway, that's how I'll treat that. In terms of watering, like I said, I drilled a drain hole in the bottom so it's free draining, which is great, so the plant should stay happy. And I will just direct water with a slow hose right toward the root ball of the plant, and they should be happy with that. I'm gonna put them somewhere where they get real bright light but no real direct sun. So that's pretty much it. I see Benjamin and Aaron just came outside. Maybe we should go say hi. Hi!
We're excited.
Yeah. Hey! Are you hanging out today? Want to show everyone how you can do walking? Oh, look at you, right into the grass. Anyway guys, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.